with Irakli Davarashvili, Chief Marketing Officer of Adjarabet. Welcome to the Double Espresso show. How are we feeling today?
Hi Rasmus, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I'm fine. The summer is coming, it's hot, and all is good. So thanks.
Excellent. You're looking great, man. So yeah, it's good. It's exciting today to talking to you as well. You know, I've been looking forward to this one. But just sort of to get started, we only have around 10 minutes. I would say
Okay.
that, as you know, today we are discussing how operators, CMOs are viewing marketing in 2021 this year, as well as what you sort of are looking for in 2022. So we have a couple of questions today, and I'll jump straight into question number one.
Okay.
So, number one. How do you manage, coordinate, and perfect marketing across your key European markets? And of course, tell us about what these markets are.
Okay. Let's start with that. So we operate on CIS market, especially we concentrate on Georgian and Armenian market. And to be more specific, in terms of the how I manage the whole team on the two countries. So first of all, on let's say on operational side, that it was challenging last 2 years, let's say, because we are working from home. So it was very challenging, but we've done great because all of these project management tools and the Zoom calls and everything. It's been easier to make things done properly. Even more things could be done, and
Sure.
before pandemic, we couldn't imagine that so many things could be done with remote working. But now this
I hear
this
you.
icebreaker this icebreaker was done. So in that case, we are all good. And what about the 2021? So from last year, many things has changed, but we are more or less like stick to, especially for the sport calendar. So it means that like it's already like in 1 week, even in 10 days, we have the huge event coming, and the whole summer is like full of the sport events. So the whole team and the whole industry, I guess, the sports betting industry is, concentrated on these events. So
Yeah.
generally, to just for audience also to understand, on this market, the competition is very high. So for us in on a strategic level, it's very important to be like momentum, to use any kind of opportunity, being innovative. Otherwise, we can lose our positions, etc. And in terms of the marketing, to use the maximum potential of the marketing mix, what's available on the markets, and the compliant with the regulation, what's happening on the both countries,
Yeah,
because it's a
because
different it's a bit
yeah,
different on both markets, even on these both markets, even in Georgia and even in Armenia, especially for example, let's say for in TV advertising, in outdoor advertising, etc. But
yeah,
we try. Our strategy is to leverage all these directions properly, to have the best presence on these channels, and of course to be strong, very strong in a digital direction, and also not to forget the traditional media, which is on CIS countries, is it's quite demandable, and the population, it's one of the main channels to communicate with the audience.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, Georgia has been probably the only regulated market really in CIS for many years. Now, of course, Ukraine is regulating as well for sports betting and iGaming. That's quite interesting. So, do you think that has changed the way, or how has that had an impact on the way you can do marketing, compared to say other countries in CIS?
So I will tell you. I'm quite a long time in this industry. So even it's regulated. I mean, in terms of the advertising and in terms of the marketing, I mean, it was quite freedom like
Yeah.
several years ago. But time by time, the regulation, of course, is changing. They're editing. It's becoming more and more strict. And at the same time, even on a regulation level, generally the industry is taking some kind of responsibility to be
Of course.
CSR related. It means to even on our decision to make some kind of channels to cancel, just to take care of the population generally and the perception of this industry, and to dedicate more and more, let's say, resources in order to be and to raise awareness as a CSR companies. Especially, I will make one or two examples. So, for example, when last year the pandemic has started, the whole market and the industry has united, and we have done some kind of donations for the government. And
Yeah.
after, Adjarabet has done many donation projects and the CSR concerts in order to help the people. So it means that we are more going closely to people to be more positive side, let's say, because we know that generally the industry is not very like the positive generally in terms of the
Yeah.
population, of course. But because we are doing many innovative things, many projects that can help several industries to develop, especially for the digital direction, to help the people, to help the sportsmen, and to achieve their dreams. So we are the part of this in developing all of these directions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I picked up on something else you said, innovation and marketing being key to sort of keep being ahead of the competition, right? So I'll not ask about this right now because that's kind of built into my question number two, which is the other question, of
Okay.
course, that
Okay.
I like to ask. And I'll ask that now. And what I have here is lots of marketing talk around affiliate licensing, sports sponsorship, free to play .NET sites, third party cookies. But what is your take on marketing? Sort of all of this, a little bit about this year, but mainly focused around 2022 and how you and Adjarabet are preparing for, for the coming year and years.
No, thanks for the question. So I will. So in terms of the affiliates, so on this markets, affiliate is not very popular. So I will not lose time on that, and we are not
Yeah.
using this direction. So what about this year and especially next year? I mean, the it's becoming more and more popular, the sports sponsorships. I would say, because generally, not only in gaming industry, but generally, I mean, the live people, I mean, the influencers and the characters all around us are making big impact on audience, on buyers, on users. So it means that we need to be close with them
Yeah.
at one time to help them financially and with our resources, and at the same time to these people are our brand ambassadors, and their achievements is our achievement, and we celebrate all this achievement together. Also, the CSR direction is becoming more and more important because comparing with other markets, I mean, this is a mandatory, and there are very strict regulation in terms of this. But on these markets, not really. But anyway, as we are part of the big group of the Flutter Entertainment, it's very important for us to maintain this direction and to build general CSR CSR, industry properly and to fit with our strategy. And of course, the free-to-play, products and shows, or even the projects, it's becoming more popular because people, anyway, we are entertainment business and people want fun, and especially the last 2 years we are sitting more and more at home with limited time to go out. So it means that we need to be entertained somehow. So we are the part of the entertainment. So it's we are making many projects on the both markets to be in entertainment. So as soon as people want to entertain, they will know that of course you can play for free, you can entertain yourself, and if you want to be a bit serious, so there are places, the best places on the market where you can go and join this one. And of course, one of the big challenges for now and for the next year, it's becoming the digital advertising generally, because there's many restrictions are coming, especially with the cookies, and now Facebook has introduced, not Facebook, but Apple has introduced with the big update where it's becoming more and more difficult to track users. So it means that even our advertising spending is gonna raise that one, and at the same time we will have the less effect as we were getting, for example, 1 month ago. So it's becoming more in priority from tech direction and from advertising direction to find some kind of solutions to be part of this new initiative from big brands and from big players who are creating the platforms, and to be compliant with them and to find some kind of the ways in order to be efficient and to be cost effective, because the prices are going very high. So it's where this part is important. And now the Euro Cup, it's one of the main Euro Cup, Olympics. It's one of the key areas where we concentrate right now. We're gonna, and it's a huge competition there, and also the demand for this period is always becoming more and more, because even not a regular player, but the general people want to be more involved in this process. So to be more involved in this process, you just have to bet even with your friends to enjoy the process fully. So,
but and you're talking Euro 2020 happening in 2021, right? We're talking
yes, it's a strange thing.
Less than a month from now. But let's not forget 2022. We have the World Cup, right?
It's a World Cup. Yeah, it's a World Cup.
Even though we've been waiting, as my background is international marketing as well from university, right? So, and I can see that and I know the joy of looking at the big tournaments and how much of a push, not just on the acquisition opportunities, but the retention and campaigns to build around existing players and new potential players, mix it up with a bit of free to play to keep them engaged without asking them to spend too much money based on the CSR and the responsible gambling and everything in it. As you said, you're part of a bigger group, Flutter, which is Paddy Power, Betfair, and all this, which is also quite exciting and will have an impact on, I guess, on some of the things, right? But this whole pandemic, as you emphasized quite a bit, of course, and how it's changed certain things and working together. It's also now my God, it's been a pain in the ass to be nice, but with now you have all these opportunities also coming at the same time. So I guess you'll be very busy now, with Euros, and also planning for next year to maximize this, because it's getting a little bit all together now. So a lot of opportunities coming at the same time, I would say.
Yeah, it's becoming like a very, very busy timing, and of course I'm let's say, so we are not still like 100% sure what's gonna happen next year, because on 2019 we are planning like 2 years ahead, but then the whole world totally changed. Even yes, so but of course, so starting from next month, it's a big push generally for this industry to be more active, to plan all the strategies, to come up with new projects even for the next year, and become to be in line with new technologies which are coming, because new things are coming in the advertising, also in content creation, and creating the content. It's very important. I have read some stuff, but for example, in Georgia and in Armenia, and especially in Georgia, content marketing is very important, and it's very, how to say, it's very momentum to communicate in terms of the social media with people, not only for selling the products, just to be the hub for information spreading through sports, for sports and for the products, and always to be engaged with the customers, so you always know what they want, how they are engaged, and entertain them. So we entertain them as a product, and also on the second side, as a brand, we are responsible to entertain our users and our audience. Yeah.
Okay, so just before we already almost talked for 50 minutes now. You see, time is flying by when you're having fun. Yeah,
wow.
There you go. But just you don't have to answer this, of course. But you're saying Armenia, Georgia. Is there any sort of view on maybe expanding into a few more markets, or is the focus still going to be the same?
I would say that yes, we're gonna expand. I will not be concrete on that direction, but yes. But yeah, it's a quite challenging time for us also to grow. And it's very interesting, the other markets also, and the opportunities and the changes generally, what's happening in this industry in terms of the...
So Irakli, and without being too concrete on what countries and regions, all fine. But would you say your part in this, in deciding on what countries from, say, the marketing side, must be quite important, because you would need to figure out how do you attract the players and how do you make them want to stay and work with you as a brand, right? So what is your sort of first sort of view on a new market, and how do you then bring that back into the decision of when and where to expand? I mean, what are you looking at? Anything in particular?
Not really. So the decision on which markets to expand and etc. It's more on business development side anyway. But when we start the researching what's happening on that exact markets, and what kind of channels, for example, or what kind of projects or what kind of acquisition strategies have the competitors there, we believe that our approach is being innovative. It's always a competitive advantage, even on the new markets, because let's say if we take for example, the Armenia side. So when we launched our project there, so any kind of new project, it was a new for that market, and then we grow the market in terms of the innovation, and in terms of the being different, and to do the different kind of things. So I believe that with this kind of approach, to be first mover in something, and even a risk, and to do something differently, gives us good results.
Okay. Now, we already spent all the time, so I'll have to cut us off now. But I would like to say a big thank you, Irakli, for joining me. And
thanks for inviting. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely, and I have huge respect for Adjarabet. You're part of a big group, but you retain a lot of autonomy. You're working, you're creating everything to make it work in Georgia and Armenia, and you are kind of the market leader. So impressive work, and good luck with the Euros, the World Cup. There's a lot to come. So, but again, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Rasmus. Thanks for the audience.
Okay.